Welcome everyone! In this tutorial we're going to go over the Python zip function. So let's jump right in. Here we have two lists. List 1 with the data elements polar, emperor, blue, and bottlenose. Here we have list 2 with the data elements bear, penguin, whale, and dolphin. And we're going to use our zip function to zip these two lists up together. So eventually we'll have polar and bear put together, emperor and penguin put together, blue and whale put together, and bottlenose and dolphin put together. A simple way to use the zip function is to declare a variable. So here we have a variable z1 for zip example 1. Then we use the zip function, and inside the zip function we put our list 1 and a comma and then our list 2. Then we're going to use a print to display the zipped up lists together. Now one thing to note, if you just try to put in the zipped up lists into a print statement like this to display it, and then we run this, you're going to notice that you're not going to get what you would expect. So in order to display the two zipped up lists together, you want to put your variable inside of a list or a dict or a tuple like this. Okay? And like I mentioned, you could use a dict like that or a tuple like that. But in this case, let's just use a list. Let's go ahead and select this and run it. And now you can see inside of a list, we have the tuple pairs of the grouped list elements. So we have polar bear together, emperor penguin together, and so on. Now another way to display these two lists zipped up and grouped together would be to use a for loop. So here we have for A and B in zip of list 1 and 2, and then we use the print to display A and B. So we declare the variables A and B, which will loop through the different lists and be assigned to the different lists, and then this zip will zip them up together. And if we select this and run it, you can see we have the two lists zipped up together and paired. So we have the polar bear, emperor penguin, blue whale, and bottlenose dolphin. Next, as we mentioned earlier, you can use the zip function to zip up the lists together and then display them in a certain fashion. So in this case, we used a list. Here's another example of the two lists zipped together, assigned to a variable. And in this case, we've gone ahead, we've declared this to be a list, then we put the zip function inside, and then we put the two lists inside the zip function. So if we select this and run it, you can see we get a list of the tuple pairs together. Now this next example is basically the same. However, in this case, instead of using a list, we've used a dictionary. So here we have our variable. We've assigned it to a dictionary. Inside the dictionary, we're using the zip function to zip up lists 1 and 2 together, and we're using a print to display the zipped up lists together in a dictionary form. So let's select this and run it, and now you can see inside of a dictionary we have the key value pairs of the two lists grouped together, polar bear, emperor penguin, and so on. For our last example, we're going to use the zip function to perform a calculation. So here we have another for loop. We're saying for A and B in the zipped list of lists 3 and 4. Here we have list 3 and list 4 with some values. And what this is going to do, again, A and B will be assigned to the different lists. It will zip through the lists, zip them up together, and allow us to add up the two list elements together. So we're going to add 5 plus 20, 10 plus 25, and 15 plus 30. So here we have our print statement. This A here will go into this placeholder, this B will go into this placeholder, and the A plus the B will go into this last placeholder. Okay, so let's go ahead and select this and run it, and you can see 5 plus 20 is 25, 10 plus 25 is 35, and 15 plus 30 is 45. Okay, so that's it for this Python tutorial on the zip function, and we'll see you next time.